And to be real, I'm the same way. I put you in there with if we match up, fight. And then you'll see what you're made out of. If the kid can't handle it, then go do something else.
Oh, you cool with that, Jim? Oh, we're not gonna fuck with you. We're not gonna spar your kids. We're not gonna fight your kids. We're not coming to your shows because you're cool with this gym. Yeah. What kind of bullshit is that? They say it's for the kids. It's really not. Y'all be capping talking about it's for the kids. There's no money involved in amateur boxing. There's not even pros yet. Imagine if there's millions involved and y'all swear y'all ready for the millions when y'all were here beefing over fucking nothing.
Yeah. What it is, what it do. You tuned into the Jose Morales podcast. I'm your host, Jose Morales, and we're back in the ring. This time I'm gonna have a guest. I'm gonna have Cain Sandoval, the prospect of Sacramento, the next up right here. He's currently 15-0, 13 knockouts. He signed with 360 Promotion. He's currently training with Freddy Roach, legendary trainer. He jumps on here and tells us his whole life story, how he got into boxing, his amateur career, his professional career, and what he wants to do after boxing. So it was a good episode, especially for those that are aspiring boxers that are looking to eventually be where he's at now as a professional boxer. Here it is. Hope you guys enjoy it. Cain, what's up, man? Thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
It was a long time coming. One of my favorite things, I wanted to say this on the podcast. One of my favorite things about you, besides your boxing, is how good of a teammate you always are. You could tell you're like a good role model to upcoming boxers. Every time you had a boxer from your team or from that you like, you're always there. You're at amateur shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you see that often. So I love that about you. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up. So, but before we get started, tell me a little bit about your family, about you. Where were you born? Where's your family from? How many siblings you have? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in Sacramento. Half of my life I live in North Highlands, the other half in South Sac. So I was like, I get love from both sides. But my family's my dad's from Nayarit, my mom's from Guanajuato. Okay. Both of my families both box. All my cousins from my mom's side box, and then my dad boxed, my grandpa boxed, my auntie boxed, and my uncle boxed.
So your whole family boxed?
My whole family's boxing. It's like,
shit. How did they get into boxing? Like, what's the history behind it?
I really don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because it's just like something they did. It's not really like, oh, like, he's boxing now. I was like, no, it's like just natural. Yeah. It's like, oh, like, so me going into boxing at such a young age wasn't a big surprise.
Because everyone did it.
It was a big surprise that I wanted to do it. Like, nobody told me, like, oh, you need to box. Like, I wanted to do it. They didn't. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
That's cool. So how old were you when you started boxing?
5. I was 5 years old when I started boxing.
And how did that come about? Like, who's the first one to take you to the gym, or how did that go down?
So I used to live in apartments, right? And my auntie lived upstairs. All my cousins boxed. They were all amateurs. And I seen them coming back from the gym. Back then, they used to have the gloves hanging on the neck. And I'm like, bro, like, came to the gym. Like, my uncle at the time was like, how old are you? I'm like, 5. He's like, he used to be 8. I'm like, just take me. Like, then I told my mom, I was like, no, he's too young. Don't have him sparring. I was like, no, it's good. I went and I just watch. Sometimes my dad will go too, because back then he used to work at a restaurant, so he couldn't really go. But when he went, he would just watch. My older brother used to box too with them.
Yeah. So
I just watch, and that's when I learned how to wrap my hands and stuff. I didn't even box yet, and I was known for stealing the hand wraps. Yeah. All the hand wraps. I had all hand wraps. I'm like, can I borrow your hand wraps? And I'm like,
you take them.
Take it, and I just learned how to wrap my hands.
That's tight. Yeah. So since 5 years old, that's how you got introduced to boxing. And then when did you start sparring? And how long after that?
I think like at 6 years old, I had my first sparring. I remember because I was in kindergarten still, first grade, and in the school uniform.
Oh shit!
The school uniform. I had the white collar and the blue jeans. School uniform. I got in there. Yeah. I got my eyes whooped, bloody nose, snotty nose, crying. But I was like, I love this shit.
And you liked it.
I liked it.
That's crazy too, because sometimes that's either gonna scare a kid away, or you're gonna be like, you know what, I don't like it, but you loved it.
Yeah, I liked it. Loved it.
And then you stuck with it, and then you started your amateur at 8. You started competing.
I started competing. Just for the record, I started competing at 7.
Oh shit!
But because I was like, back then it was just a sticker. Back then they didn't, they didn't need the birth certificate. So I'm like, I'm gonna fight so bad. I was like, I'm in training. With a whoop. Oh, he's from 2001. I'm 2002.
And you started competing?
I started competing, yeah.
What? Damn.
So I started competing at 7.
How many amateur fights did you have?
I want to say almost 200, but I don't know the exact number because I don't know. I fought every weekend.
Because you fought a lot, huh?
Yeah, I fought a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think that's one of my favorite things is that I saw and not many people do that now.
Yeah.
But OG, like you were fighting everyone
Yeah.
at little kid. Like you just got in there. You just got in there.
Yeah. Sometimes
And you lose, you win. Who cares? You just keep fighting.
I fought. Sometimes I fight the same dude like 5+ times. But I just want to fight. They're like, oh, like you guys don't have a fight today? Oh, he did he weigh in? How much you weigh in? Oh, okay, let's fight with Cain. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I lose him. I win him. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's amateur.
Exactly.
And from the first time I lost my fourth, I went 3-0 as an amateur. You know, like, oh, cool. And then like I told him I'm be undefeated. How I was feeling, 7-year-old me, and I lost my fourth fight with a guy with like 30 fights. But like back then it was a point system.
Yeah,
I lost him by one punch. I'm like, oh shit, like all right. But anyway, I did cry because I had a lot of emotion. I was like, man, I almost won. But I was like, fuck, I didn't win. But that is true that I was like at that level already.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like I remember back in the day, we used to go to shows weigh in just to get in for free.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah,
we weren't even gonna fight. We just got in just to weigh in, and then I actually got a couple fights that way sometimes because I weighed in. I'm like, fuck, this guy weighs your weight. I'm like, fuck it, let's fight.
Yeah.
So how was your amateur career? Like you were competing, you were losing, winning, you did your thing. What was your mentality like during this time? Like what did you see? What motivated you?
I just fought to fight. I felt like I needed it. Really. Now looking back at it, I was like, if I didn't fight a box how I was dedicated to the sport, I'd probably be dead or in jail, really, to the environment. But back then I was just like, oh, I'm doing this. It really hit me when I was 14. I went to Kansas City for the Nationals.
Was that your first
Nationals? My first Nationals. And first fight, first round, I got a first round TKO, body shot. Fought a dude from Texas. They were like, oh, kid from Sacramento. I'm like, who the hell is this? Knocked the dude out. Bro, he didn't get up, right? He didn't get it from the stool. And then the second day, I fought this Puerto Rican kid. And like I lost the decision. Then after they're like, bro, do you know who you just fought? I'll name dropping just for y'all. I fought Jeremy Adorno. And at the time, he was like 17-time national champion, Puerto Rico and the United States. And I'm like, and I got a split decision by him. And I was like, with him. And I was like, I might do something with this.
Yeah.
And
you hold at that time?
14.
14?
That's when it hit like, yeah, this is it.
And that's when you were like, this is what I got to do for a living.
Yeah.
That's tight. So how many national tournaments did you do?
I did probably like 8 or 6 or like around there. Less than 10.
What are the national tournaments like for you? What were they like?
They were fun.
They were
fun.
Travel,
they
right?
were fun, yeah. And especially when I traveled with my brothers. Like I was on the team with Charlie Sheehy, and I was with Jonathan Rubio, all the guys, all the top, and I was just like, it was just cool. It was a vacation because like SAC is so small. Like when I came back from SAC, I was like, when I came back to SAC, I was just like, man, when's the next tournament? I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
Because like I seen the world. Yeah. That's what I took it as.
Yep, 100%.
Because I never lost the first day. I always lost like the third or second day, like quarterfinal or semis. And I was just like watching the fights. Like, we do the noon session is this, and the evening session is noon session. I'll be there the whole fucking day watching the fights.
And you would stay there watching the fights?
I'll stay the whole day watch the fight. I was like, bro, because I knew like the dudes that are on now were gonna be champs. Bam Rodriguez, I watched him fight in amateurs. Keyshawn Davis, I watched him fight in amateurs.
Yeah.
Raymond Ford watched him fight in amateurs. When Raymond Ford fought Mark Castro in amateurs, you should have seen it. It was like packed around that ring. And it's like, because people know, like, these guys are going to be the ones. And I didn't have really that much of a crowd, but, like, people will come up to me from other states, like, hey, you like here for Sacramento, right? He's like, oh, you did your thing, man. Like, I like your style. And I was like, oh, like, where you guys from? Oh, we're from Baltimore, Maryland. Like, whoa. Like, I fought people from Bronner's Camp. I fought people from Headbangers from Baltimore. Oh, no, that's not Baltimore. That's, from East. Let's say East. But, yeah, I fought people from Headbangers, everybody, like.
Yeah, when you go to nationals, you fight Texas, people from everywhere.
Yeah, Texas is like, I like those styles. I got a taste of every style. And that's what I loved about it. Because here in SAC, or like when I fought in
you get the same style.
You get the same style. You get same shit.
Similar. Yeah. So you gained a lot during this time. I want to ask you this. How did you gain, because a lot of people don't go because, there's a lot of reasons, but a couple of reasons people don't go. Their coaches don't take them, or they don't have the money to go. Or how was that for you? Like, how did you fundraise? How'd you get the money to go to these national tournaments?
I made some GoFundMes, but like my goal was like I put a goal like $2,000. I get like what $200.
Yeah.
But like me and my mom had to bust it down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say this for the. I'm gonna spill the truth. I know I had to go on the block. It is what it is.
And that's how you got money to go.
I had to go on the block, and I had to sell my shit, my True Religions, my Jordans sometimes. But me and my mom will go to my dad just play on the Sunday leagues, right? And me and my mom will make tamales and sell the tamales there. But sometimes, I was like, man, like I got this money for the tournament, but I kind of want to spend some money there too. I had to, I had to hit the block. I had to, flip some zips. I had to flip some shit. But it's like I'm not proud of it, but I had to do what I had to do to enjoy myself while I'm out there. Now, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I did to really
to make sure you got
make sure I had it. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need somebody that, because you can give it to somebody, but they're trained different and fight different when they had to get themselves there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. My mom was like, and also like I had some help. Also like at the time, my girlfriend's aunt at the time was like, oh, I want to make money for you. Like I'll make you some brownies. You sell them, and we sold them, and I made like $500. And I was like, man, I appreciate you. Like really, like wow. Like and I paid my flight with that. Hell yeah. And it's like what I'm saying. Like some people did help me along the way, and I just want to say like I appreciate y'all for that.
Yeah, because you can tell the people that were around you that really wanted to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, little things like that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when you were, how many siblings do you have? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have two brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the second oldest.
You're the second oldest?
Yeah.
What's your relationship with them?
We're locked in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How about growing up? Did you guys fight a lot?
Me and my older brother my older brother started boxing first. Mm-hmm. And he's the one that like, I have hella fights. He used to be like, he don't box no more, but he used to knock out people with one punch, body or head. And I'm like, when we get in, what I'm saying, teenagers, like, bro, come on, adolescent, like, oh, bro, I was like, you know what, bro, like, ain't no arguing shit, ain't no this, we'll fist fight. But that's brother shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll fist fight, dad pops out to separate us and shit, and I'm like, man, fuck you, bro, like, watch next time I get my hands on you. And that fool hit hard as hell.
So what is he doing now?
He has his own stuff going. I think he's an electrician now.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like.
And then your younger siblings, what are they doing?
My younger sibling, my little brother, he's going to college and stuff. And then my other 2 sisters, they're going to school and stuff. My baby sister, she has Down syndrome. Oh, so that's another reason I started fighting too. I started like, because she was born when I was 8. And I started fighting at 7. So I was like, that really hit me like, wow, like, I didn't really understand it at the time. So it really just a lot of emotion. Because I didn't understand it. But like, man, she be playing. I feel like she's like, people like to be like, oh, she has this ability. But I feel like she's a normal person. Like, bro, she is a normal person. Like, she can do anything and everything she wants. And I feel like, at the time I didn't have kids, but she was my motivation.
Yeah. And now, do you still feel like she's still a big part of your motivation?
Oh, yeah, definitely. She watched my fight and everything. She was cheering everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed, I don't know your whole family, but I could tell your dad and you have a real tight.
Yeah.
And he's always there. It looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Was he always a part of your boxing, like from the very beginning, or when did he become more actively involved?
He's the one that taught me how to throw a punch. He's the one that told me like, oh, like watching the fights today, like when Pacquiao fought Morales, or like those like old fights, like 2007 and 6.
Yeah.
I remember watching fights with him and his friends. They're all drinking and shit. I'm like.
You're watching the fight.
Watching, and I'll be like shadow boxing, and be like, oh, look, and I'll be like, and I have faint memories of it. But he's the one that like, oh, like, you want to box? I got you. Like he was like, I went to used to go to the Nile, so I was like, well, 5 or 6, and buy me the little bags with the little added gloves, and I just hit the bag and hang it up and hit the bag, because they're like, oh, you don't want him to box serious like that yet. But I've been wanting to do this. My daddy's been a big part of my career, because sometimes. I just shared my uncle, and my dad used to work night shift at a restaurant, 3 to 11 p.m. So most of my when I was a kid, he wasn't there for my trainings and stuff. And
he was working.
He was working.
Yeah.
And I told my mom about it at the time. I was like, Mom, like, my dad's not here for it. Mom's like, he's working. And at the time, I was like, man, like, fuck. I hate when people would be like, oh, you and your dad, and it was my fucking uncle. I'd be like, bro, ain't my dad, like, bro. I wish my dad was here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then like.
Jesus, right?
Jesus.
So yeah. Jesus is your uncle?
Yeah.
Through your dad or your mom's side?
He's married to my mom's sister, so he's married to my auntie.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and I was just like, I hate it when people would be like, oh, like, you and your dad, like, I see, like, I'm like, that's not my dad, that's my uncle. They're like, oh, where's your dad? I'm like, he's working. And I remember one time it hit me. I was like, man, bro, my pops really ain't here, bro. Because all these kids had their pops
Their
there.
dads, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that made me who I am.
Yeah.
Because now every pro fight, ringside, either he's in the corner or he's in ringside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I feel you on that. Growing up, same. I didn't even know my dad ever in my whole life. And I would go to the gym and I would see the kids with their dads wrapping their hands, their dads giving them water, doing everything for them, tying their gloves. And one time that I actually experienced that, I was 19 years old and I saw that. I remember leaving the gym and just crying. And because it was the very first time that I actually witnessed what it's like to have a dad. I'm like, damn, that's what it's like to have a dad, huh? So I feel you on that. When you're like, it makes you somebody different. You know what I'm saying? It gives you that like that I don't know. To me, it made me like fearless. You know, like you need your daddy. You need this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I did this shit by myself.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's tight, man. So then you're competing, and then you knew your dad was supportive and all that, and then now he's always in the corner with you. How tight is your guys' relationship? Like, do you only talk boxing with him? Do you shut off boxing, or how is that? Or is he all boxing?
Nah, I tell him everything.
So you guys are real close?
Real close, everything. When it comes to like, what I'm talking about, like
everything.
Different stuff, everything. I tell him everything.
That's cool.
It's like, and he's like, because I know like he won't judge me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell him everything. It's like, he's like, I got close with him when I started like with going to tournaments. Like he'll call me every day, like, oh, are you eating? Like, how much did you weigh?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like maybe if you eat this, you'll weigh this. Like, and like now that I'm under Freddy Roach, he's like, he told me, he's like, now I could be at peace knowing that you're in good hands. It's like now I'm like finally, like I'm not gonna trust like this coach from Sacramento or this coach from over here. Like now that you're with a world-class trainer, like I could finally like in a way let you go and do your own thing.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like, and in my head, I'm like, man, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like, now that I know that you're at peace, it makes me even better that I could like.
Yeah, more relaxed.
You're more relaxed too.
Yeah, more relaxed for sure. What is what coach, if you have a coach that made a big impact in your life? How many coaches did you have throughout your whole career?
Probably like 4 or 5.
5? 4 or 5? So is there any one particular that made a big impact that you can remember and be like, damn, this and this happened? Is there anything particular?
Abel,
what do you do? Or give me an example.
Abel Calderon. He been on me since I was little. I was spar like these little kids and stuff, and he see me at Shotgun, and he used to take Lupe to train to spar and stuff, training stuff, and I'd be like, damn, the tournaments and everything. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to be like Lupe, low key. Like I'm trying to go to tournaments too, and I told him about it. Like, hey, like let's just train with you, this and that, and he's the one. I got my first national championship with him. So like, he told me he's like other than Lupe, cause like he's been national champ. You're my first national champ, and I was like, we did it. Like we did this. We were from ground up, cause we lost like 2 tournaments before we won one, and we were like, he's like next one. I'm like, man, fuck, like bro, I lost this shit. And he's like, when I won the whole thing all 5 days, and I won all the fights, convincingly. And then after that tournament, I got second place at the USA Nationals. And he was like, bro, you're the one. Like, you're going to be the one. He told me, like, you're the one, Cain. You're the one. Sparring pros whooping their ass too. Like, yeah. He's like, you're the one. Like, he taught me forward. And that's something I didn't have. I used to just come forward. I just fucking chase everybody around. Then he taught me forward how to find the back foot and everything. And for that, I appreciate that, because without him, I wouldn't have won a national tournament.
Yeah.
Not these national tournaments. I won 2.
That's badass.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you recognize that.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Do you still have a relationship with him, or do you talk to him?
I talk to him here and there, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though. So growing up, when you were at the gym, did you have a lot of sparring as an amateur, or was it did you spar the same 2-3 people in the gym, or did you spar a variety of people?
I want to shout out Jesus, because he used to take us to gyms to spar. And we'll spar everybody. We go with David Owens, we go to Shotguns, we go to Caballero, we go to this, we go to that. You know what I'm saying?
Because at your gym, you didn't have that.
Yeah. I mean, with my cousins, that was all it. And we have no ring. So it's like, we did that, and it's like, I feel like that made me like, we used to go to gym spar, I'm like, whoop their ass, and we just at the car after, like, go to the gas station and just be like, bro, we whoop their ass, bro, like, we gonna do this shit next week too.
Yeah.
It used to be fun back then. And yeah, we had sparring back then. It was cool.
Yeah, it's true though. We should talk about Jesus because Jesus has been like that forever. You know, no, for real. Like Jesus, I used to spar with his son.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day, he used to he used to bring him to the center where I trained at as a kid, and I used to spar with his son. And I remember he also had his nieces, Gina, Selena, I forgot their name. But he would always have kids that we would bring, and he would travel with them everywhere for sparring and competitions. He's been like that forever.
Yeah.
And he's always been like that. So I think he plays a big part in just.
No, the thing is, like, he threw me in with anybody.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not scared of nobody.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's like, you know what's funny? Let me bring this up. Cause I fought this dude like 4 times in my amateur career, like since I was like 9 to like 12. We go to the national tournament. I'm like, 14, 15? And he's like, hey, Cain, what weight class you in? I'm like, 119. He's like, there's no 119 in elite. I'm like, what weight class are you in? He's like, 114, elite. And I'm like, I'm a junior. He's like, how the fuck did we fight? I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus throws you with everybody.
He's like, bro, I'm 3.5, 4 years older than you. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I know. And he was all like, I whatever, man. And I was like, but that's like, he threw me in with anybody, and that's the reason I'm not scared of anybody.
Yeah. And to be real, I'm the same way. I put you in there with if we match up, fight. And then you'll see what you're made out of. If the kid can't handle it, then go do something else.
Yeah.
It's not for you. And if it is.
Yeah, it's like, it's amateurs. Like, if you lose, what we do, we learn from it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that too, especially because there's a lot of people that want to like nitpick and like this and that.
I hate when amateurs count their records.
Yeah.
I didn't count it at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I won this fight. I'm like, I won my last 4 fights in a row. There's times where I lost like 6 fights in a row.
Yeah.
And then I win 2 fights in a row. Then lose 4 more in a row. It's like, amateurs, I didn't really give a shit. I just fought.
Matter. Yeah, it don't matter. Yep. As long as you're getting better.
Definitely.
Yep. And it shows because it helped you when you went to nationals.
Oh,
it shows. And then it shows now in the pros.
Yeah.
When it matters.
Yeah.
Now it matters. And now you have all this experience of all the things that helped you. What made you transition to, or how did it come about to turn pro? Like when did you know you were ready, or who told you, hey, Cain, you should turn pro now?
Well, after COVID, no, before COVID, I was like, I'm gonna turn pro. I was 17. And I was like, time to turn pro at 18. But then COVID happened. Because it's either do that or wait for the 2020. What was that last Olympics that just passed?
Yeah, the 2024.
The 2024 Olympics. Because I was too young for the 2020. I missed it. So I'm like, either 2024, wait till I'm 21, and stay amateur till I'm 21, and try to go to the Olympics, or turn pro. And I'm like, it's time to turn pro. But then COVID happened. And then right the week before COVID happened, baby mama called. I'm pregnant. I'm like, damn. 17. I'm like, my plan was, because I was in AP classes, I was in honors classes, and thanks to boxing though, because my mom was all like, if you do bad in school, I'm taking you out of boxing. So I was A plus student, A honor roll basically, but I was in AP classes, advanced classes, honors classes, everything.
You're doing good.
Yeah, so my plan was to box and go to school. And I was like, my girlfriend at the time told me, oh, I'm pregnant. I was 17. I was like,
damn.
Fuck, like, I'm at to work. That's what it is. I worked and I boxed until I got signed.
Shit.
Yeah.
So you were 17 when you got your baby.
I was 18.
You got the news.
When I got the news, I was 17 years old. With no job, no money in my pocket. Well, I did have money, but it's like,
not consistent. You're not like nothing that you can be able to provide.
So I was like, I had to log myself down and be like, you know what? Started working at a lumber yard. That shit was so hard, man. I'm telling you that. And then worked at a lumber yard. I turned pro 2021. August 2021. I was 19.
So what made you turn pro?
When we turned pro, the Olympics. I was like, I'm not gonna stay fucking amateur till I'm 21. I've been fighting since I was 7.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I'm gonna get burnt out. I already knew I was like, I had to turn pro. And mind you, I was already whooping pros.
Yeah, so you knew you were ready. You were confident. You feel good.
Yeah, so.
And then when you turned pro at the beginning, you didn't have a major contract. You didn't have a promoter. You just signed. You just turned pro, right?
Yeah, I turned pro. I want to give a big shout out to Oscar, my manager. He's the one that got me those fights. the right, not I'm gonna say the right fights, but yeah, the right fights. He got me the right fights, and I fought constantly. I fought, I think, first year like 5 times.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
For not being signed, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5 times. And Champ Pro 2021, I was still working in the lumberyard, and then 2023, I got signed to Tom Loeffler 360, and that's when I got signed. I signed that paper. I called my boss. I'm like, hey, because they knew I boxed, and they're like, oh, like King needs a week off because it's fight week for him, and they'll give it to me. They really supported me too. They're like, I told them like, oh, this is the rundown. Like, I'm a boxer. There's gonna be days I can't come in. Like, if you guys aren't uncool with that, fine. I'll find another job. They're like, really? You're a boxer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's all good. Like, you do your shit. We got a lot of workers, like, like, get your shift. I'm like, oh, perfect.
They were cool with it.
So when I told them that, I did it. I got signed. Like, I'm gonna go full time. They're like, oh, like, we wish you the best and everything.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like that was my strength conditioning. Because I used to look at lumber the whole off to 5 to 3.
Yeah.
And then take a nap, go to gym like at 5. And I'd be like, man, like
you were tired.
Yeah, I felt it though. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was your strength conditioning. Hey, to be real though, I feel like construction workers or people that work in like labor jobs hit harder. Swear. Yeah. They have like hard hands and shit. Mm-hmm. They like, I've always noticed that in the gym. And then you can tell motherfuckers that like do labor jobs and people that don't work at all.
Yeah, so I worked at that lumber yard for 3 years before I got signed. But I was a pro throughout those. I was still fighting everything.
How was the fights without being signed? What was that like?
Was
it difficult as far as not the fight itself, but
the camps and stuff?
Yeah, was it and were you having to sell tickets and things like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I fought in Sacramento, I had to sell like the promoter was all like,
you need to sell 100 tickets or something.
Yeah, you need to sell 100 tickets to fight on my card. Fuck, I sold like 100, almost 200.
Yeah. Because that's a big thing for those that don't know, that when you are not signed,
yeah,
and you get put on a professional card, and you're not on the B side, which is they expect requirements from you, like, hey, you need to sell X amount of tickets, or you need to do this for us to put you on your card. And that's what I was asking them, and you were told to sell 100, and you sold 150, 200.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that just means, and that all those tickets, where they come from? Who were these people that bought these tickets to watch you?
Sometimes we random people, sometimes be family, like, and like they'll text me like, you have tickets? I'm like, I don't know who this is. I'm like, yeah, you slide to the gym and all, and they'll buy like 5.
That's
like,
tight.
Yeah, it's like,
it's because you are fan friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people want to see you fight because you're exciting to watch.
Yeah.
You know. So then you get these 5 fights. I mean, you fight a couple of years before you get signed. How did getting signed? How did 360 come about? Like, who brought that up? How did they find out about you? How did that come about?
So I had, when I got signed to them, I had a 100% KO streak. I was 8. I was 8-0 with 8 knockouts, and they're like, they already had the eye on me. They're like, I'm exciting, and they're like, you signed me. Shout out my manager Oscar. Shout out Charles for that.
They pushed the issue.
About it. Yeah. They're like, I'm the real deal. Sign me, and there's this history.
Yeah, because now you've been with them for how many fights?
I want to say 7.
7 fights. And how's it been going?
6 fights. Good. Everything's been good. Yeah.
So out of the 7 fights, out of all your professional fights, is there any one fight that's very memorable to you that you're like, man, this is one of my favorite professional fights?
That's when I fought Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I fought a guy from Brooklyn, and there was like, this is like the biggest test for me, right? I was 10-0, 10 knockouts, 100% ratio. And he was 17 wins and 1 loss, and from Brooklyn.
In his hometown.
And he came deep. Oh, he came deep as hell. And people were like, oh, like, this guy's too experienced for Cain. Like, he has wins over, like, some good guys. And I'm like, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna knock this guy out. That's my point. I was like, man, I'm fuck winning. I'm gonna knock this guy out. And that's what I did. I knocked him out 5th round. First round, I knocked him down. I knocked him down. I thought I knocked him out cold, but he got up. And 5th round, I knocked him out. And the rest is history, really. After that, my stock went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, that fight was big.
Yeah, after that fight, I feel like some people thought like I was supposed to lose. They're like, this is too big of a test for Cain. Oh, Cain's too young. Oh, Cain. Cain's not mature. Cain, he does throw a lot of punches. Cain, his defense, like, nah, shut that shit up with the knockout.
Hell yeah. What was a guy like before the fight and after the fight, your opponent?
He was dancing around.
Before?
He was dancing before the fight, and then like when I got him in his face in the weigh-in, I told him, I was all like, you fucked up, right? And then, he came deep, and I was like, they can't help you. And he was like smiling, and I'm like, I'm off that smile off your face, bro. And then he was just like, oh, you talking hella shit, bro. I'm like, it's facts. I'm off that smile off your face. And I was like, to pull us apart. Then nobody was in the middle of us, pull us apart. But when I seen in his eyes, though, he didn't mean what he said. He's like, you talking hella shit, bro. I'm trying to fuck you up. That's what he said. And I looked in his eyes like, you don't mean that shit. I mean my shit. Yeah.
And then after the fight, did you talk to him again?
Yeah, I did. But he was in a wheelchair.
What the fuck? What happened? Because he got knocked out?
Because I whooped his ass hella bad. Yeah.
Damn, in a wheelchair? Shit,
Yeah,
Cain ain't playing.
Nah, because look, I came up to him, and I was all like, bro, like, good fight, appreciate the opportunity, because, some guys don't want to fight me.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's all good, da-da-da. And I'm like, appreciate you, man. And then, the thing is, though, like, he was playing me like, he was like, he's going to win the fight. Like, he had an after party set up and everything, da-da-da, like, oh, I'm going to be here at this club, da-da-da. Bro spent the night at the hospital. Instead of a club where he's been, he had a hospital where he's been on.
Damn.
So it's like, don't play with me. That shows like, don't play with me, because I'm gonna give you what you want and more.
Damn, that's crazy. He was planning too far ahead already.
Yeah. Like, you respecting me doing that shit.
Yeah, he was thinking that he had it done. How did Freddy Roach come about?
I feel like Sac got too small for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, you're the best fighter in Sac." I'm like, man, fuck being the best fighter in Sac. I'm trying to be the best fighter in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm the best fighter in Sac. Everybody knows I'm the best fighter in Sac. It's like I'm not even like being like cocky. It's facts.
Yeah.
And like, I had to make that move for my career. I feel like.
How did it come about? How did Freddy Roach come about? Who introduced you to Freddy?
Oh, my manager and Tom. I always talk to Freddy at the shows.
Yeah, because he has a guy, right? The Irish kid.
Yeah, he had the Irish kid. He has Gore Ritzian too. Shout out Gore. He was my sparring partner for my last fight. But yeah, that came about. Manager got me Tom. Shout out Tom Loeffler too. He got some work in to get me there.
That's
and
cool.
I feel like I needed that for my career.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And how's it been going? What makes Freddy Roach special? Now that you've trained with him, what do you think is what makes him special?
I feel like he's just knows so much, and he's not cocky. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
He's not like, oh, I know this, I know that, I know that. I trained this, I trained this person, I trained this
humble.
person. He's just there. And I feel like in the corner, not yelling, not doing anything. He came to my corner. He's talking like, good job. Like, you need to keep doing what you're doing. Jab a little on. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's like, that caught me off guard because I'm used to like fucking, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and you gotta move your head. I'm like, chill out.
Yeah.
But Freddie is that person.
Calm.
And yeah, calm, collected, and like all the assistant coaches, they brought me. When I got there, open arms.
Yeah.
Because here in our city, it's all envy.
Yeah.
You know this, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. It's all envy. Especially, not even Sacramento, NorCal boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you cool with that, Jim? Oh, we're not gonna fuck with you. We're not gonna spar your kids. We're not gonna fight your kids. We're not coming to your shows because you're cool with this gym. Yeah. What kind of bullshit is that? They say it's for the kids. It's really not. Y'all be capping talking about it's for the kids. There's no money involved in amateur boxing. They're not even pros yet. Imagine if there's millions involved and y'all swear y'all ready for the millions when y'all over here beefing over fucking nothing.
Yeah.
That shit makes no sense to me, bro. That's why NorCal boxing is where it's at. That's why SoCal boxing is striving because everybody helps each other. Here in NorCal, nobody helps each other. And it's amateurs. Imagine the pros. Yeah, bro, y'all not ready for that 100K, for that millions that you say y'all ready for. Because everybody's beefing with each other, nobody's helping each other. Yeah. Until they change that dynamic changes. And I'm trying so hard to change that dynamic. I'm trying to put on these boxers that are not even from my gym. Like some of your fighters. I repost some of this stuff too. Yeah. And it's like I'm trying to put on so many people, and people are hating on me for that. But if you're hating on me for that, for trying to be positive, trying to put these gyms on, trying to put these boxers on that have real talent, so be it.
Yeah. How do you handle hate? How do you handle that?
Oh, I pray. Back then, you be like, oh, Cain, you ain't shit. I'd be like, what? What would you say? Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, oh, damn. Like, now it's like, you ain't shit. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. It's like, why ain't shit? Oh, because, you're this, you're that, and you're that. Okay.
Do you go to church? Are you good? Like, are you
Oh,
involved?
definitely, yeah.
You
I feel like I have a good personal relationship with God because I feel like I was living for the world for a while. I
mm,
was living for the world. Girls, money. Because I imagine doing this sport for your whole life since
yeah,
you're 5. And you're not, let's say an example, you knock out a guy in 30 seconds. Mind you come from nothing. Not even $1 in your fucking pocket. Food stamps, fucking WIC, all that shit, right? And I was like, you knock out, you've been working for so long, you knock out this guy in 1 minute, oh, here's $7,000. What? Wow. Cash it in, get all cash.
then it's easy to get sidetracked.
It's easy to get like, just,
Yeah,
it's easy to just fucking, dinero te manda.
yeah,
And then like, my mom used to tell me this, like, if you chase money, you're never gonna be happy.
yep,
And I'm like, what you mean, bro? Like, man, I've been getting this. Like, oh man, like I'm happy when I got it. Like, what you mean? What are you talking about? And it's like the money's nothing.
yeah,
Money is nothing. I thought money was everything. Cause that's how I grew up in the environment I was. Like, money's everything. Like, fuck, bro. Like, money's everything. But God is everything.
yeah.
God first. If you put God first, you're always gonna succeed in life.
Mm-hmm. You always have peace.
Always have peace.
Yeah, because with money, you only have peace when you have money, and if you don't have money, you're
You're fighting demons.
Yeah, you're miserable. Like, that's for sure. That's 100% is having a good relationship with God. Cause this world is crazy, man. It's you be up one side one day and then you be down the next day, and it's like that the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like I'm in camp. I was alone most of the time, and when I was alone, I just Bible study, pray.
Mm-hmm.
I had talk to God, and I'd be grateful.
Yeah.
One time, I don't want to just say this. One time, I did so good in sparring, and I was in good shape because I landed. I was heavy when I got to the wild card. Heavy. I was heavy. I was like, damn. They're like, bro, we got some work to do. I was in shape. I did 10 rounds of sparring. After I go to my room, I start bawling my eyes out of nowhere. I'm just like so emotional. I get on my knees and I thank God. I'm so grateful because there was a moment in my career that I was like, man, I'm considering retirement, bro. I don't want to box no more. Matter of fact, I don't want to be here no more. And the fact that God got me out of that, and now I'm here training with Freddy Roach. I'm here getting good sparring. I'm here. Yeah. That day I did hella good in sparring. I was just so grateful that I'm here.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's hella true. Because that all was part of your journey, man, and God had that ready for you.
Yeah.
You just had to have faith in Him.
Yeah.
Keep talking to Him. How does it feel to be training with Freddy Roach? Like, how does it feel? Like you just hit me right now when you're like, man, I'm here with Freddy Roach. I did hella good sparring. You sit there and look back and think back. Freddy Roach, a Hall of Famer, trained Manny Pacquiao and all these guys. How does it feel to know that that's your coach now?
It's kind of like, it didn't hit me till like when I was in my fight in the corner. I was like, corner. He's like, can you tell me? He's like, you didn't go in. I'm like, Freddy Roach. Like, it hit me. I'm like, I've been training with Freddy Roach, and I was like, it's like, man, like I knew like world-class fighters require world-class trainers, and he's a world-class trainer, and I'm a world-class fighter. So yeah, it was like.
Do you guys have a relationship? Like,
definitely.
Do you text them? Do you talk to them? Call them?
After combos before the sparring, after the sparring. It's like we got.
Did he tell you about his fights in Sacramento?
Yeah, he said Sacramento's his favorite place to fight at.
Yeah.
He fought Bobby Chacon.
Yeah, he fought. He had a girl here. Did he tell you that?
Nah,
no, he did. He had a girl here. Tell him to tell you the story. And he would drive up here just to see his girl and drive back.
Oh shit, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
but. That's what he told me. That Sacramento's his favorite places.
Yeah.
He knows that's like when he see me, he's like, yeah, kid from Sacramento. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I love Sacramento. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. When the times that I've talked to him, he always talks hella good about Sac.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, man, I can fuck with Freddy. He likes Sac. Yeah,
yeah, right.
That's tight. Yeah. He's cool. So, boxing wise, and I'm talking about pros. What's something that you would like to see change in boxing? Is there anything about pro boxing or in boxing in general you don't like?
In pro boxing, I don't like.
Like, you're like, man, I wish this should change or this would be different. Is there anything?
I feel like after retirement, there should be some sort of program, like how the NFL got it. I think NBA got it too. Like, they take care of the athletes because some fighters, I know that our millionaires were like broke, broke, or like more financial.
Yeah, literacy. Like when you get drafted in the NBA, they put you through a financial education course where they tell you, hey, you're gonna get this amount of money, taxes, this and that work, and then they prepare you for retirement, put money away. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
they need to do
literally,
more of
they
that.
need to do more of that.
Yeah.
But I feel like this generation of boxing is doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, way better with that. Because back in the 80s, they're like, you hit a min-dog check, the boxers like, for example, Mike Tyson, like just run through the check.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I feel like more fighters are being more financial
smart, making better decisions.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. How about how's the competition of that? Do you feel everything is good with the competition side and all that? Do you like how it is?
Yeah, I feel like this generation of boxers, everybody's fighting each other. You know?
Yeah.
But some fights are not being made. But it's like the fights that the people want, like, obviously Crawford, Canelo, Benavidez, kind of like, bro, who cares? Like these fights, other fights, you're overlooking these fights that are being actually made.
Yeah.
Back then, people used to duck.
Yeah.
Like 2010s was like the year of ducks. Like people used to duck hella people. Now 2020s, like our generation, we're fighting each other. Don't matter the money or anything. And obviously, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
But everybody's fighting each other, and I'm so grateful that I'm part of that generation.
Is there anyone in the future you would want to fight? Like, man, I wish I'd fight this person in the future or nothing?
Everybody. Everybody asks me that. I'm like, anybody at 140. Yeah. Anybody, all the champs from 140, like I'll have my eye on them. Yeah. Top 10, the top 15, anybody. I ain't gonna name drop because I'm ready for anybody.
Yeah, but that's something you want to be a part of, the guy that's known to fight everybody.
Yeah, like I'll fight anybody, but it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't fight nobody for no, little shit.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So, what advice would you give somebody that wants to be like Cain, wants to be in the pros, signed to a major promotional company? What advice would you give these boxers? What would you tell them?
Look, when I was going through it by myself, because this sport is lonely. This sport gets really, really, really lonely. And you sit there and you're like, do I even want to box? I'd rather spend time with my friends. I'd rather spend time with my family. I recommend you to talk to God. I'm recommending you to stay in the gym and listen to your coaches. Because I stay in the gym literally to stay out the street. My mom would be like, oh, but that's buen niño, this and that, you're a good kid, this and that. I'm like, I'm on because of boxing. In my head, I'm like, it's a boxing. The environment I grew up in, like, I for sure would have been outside. I already know I would have been outside. And like, even though I boxed, I was kind of still outside in a way, a little bit. But if I wasn't boxing at all, I would have been outside, definitely.
Yeah.
I know myself. I am telling my mom knows this too. She'll tell you like, yeah, Cain, if you didn't box, ni sabía dónde estaría ahorita. She'll tell you herself. And it's like, amateurs, kids that like grew up like me in the trenches in the hood and stuff, stay in the gym. Because I've seen $1 million talents get killed over the streets or lose their mind over the streets, fall into drugs over the streets. And it's like, stay in the gym, listen to your coaches, even if you don't even train. Just go to the gym, watch the sparring.
Yeah. Just being that's a good point right there.
Just watch the sparring.
Yep.
Go help the kids. Because if you're it's better to be in the gym than being out on the street.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, I had a coach that used to tell us that. Like when you were hurt, and they're like, oh, I can't come to the gym because I broke my leg or whatever. They're like, motherfucker, you can sit here and just watch. You can sit here and tie gloves, get water, just be in the gym.
It's deeper than boxing.
Yeah, exactly. And that right there, because it's once you get off track, like let's say you can't train.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. They're like, I'm gonna take a break.
And it's
and
a wrap.
Never fucking come. It's a wrap. They never come back.
Exactly, because it's hard to come back.
Yes.
And once you get bigger, you get out of shape, and then your routine is different, and then you got some pussy or something on the side.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. You ain't coming back.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
That's why it's better to just go to the gym, even if you don't train. Like you said, I like that you said that. Just show up and just watch.
Yeah.
Because just stay in the gym. That's a good ass point. That's 100% true. What makes for you? What makes a good coach? What makes a bad coach? Is there such thing as a bad coach?
I don't think there's such thing as a bad coach. I think there's coaches that don't understand their fighters.
What do you mean by that? Explain it.
Because some fighters require different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't train every fighter the same.
Like some guys want certain attention in certain things.
Yeah.
Some guys, and this sounds funny, but it's like a girl.
Yeah,
You can't
definitely.
treat every girl the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
definitely,
Like
yeah.
some girls, you gotta wine and dine them. Some girls, you gotta text them good morning and this and that. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Every fighter is different. You
Yeah,
can't train
I
them
don't think
all.
there's not a bad coach, and there's not a thing of bad coaches. I just feel like there's trainers that don't understand their fighters,
Mhm.
and they want to train them the same as everybody.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't train the southpaw the same way you train an orthodox.
Yeah.
You can't train that tall dude the same way you train this short dude.
Mhm.
Like, this guy's a good check hook. Oh, you can have the same check hook. Oh, you fucking can. He's naturally talented. He's naturally blessed with that check hook.
Yeah.
You making that check hook his weapon. This guy, he could jab good. Make that jab his weapon.
Yeah. You find their strengths.
Exactly. But some trainers would like to be like, oh, he has a good check hook. All my fighters got good check hooks. But they don't work on anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
I feel like some fighters require different attentions and their attributes. But some trainers, well, I consider bad trainers the ones that don't understand their fighters.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, you got to find what makes them great. Who are they?
Yes,
their identity. I always say,
definitely.
I that's what I do is like I explain to my athletes is like, look, we're gonna spend these amount of fights, and during these 10 fights, I just want to see where you're made out of. What are your strengths? What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? And then from there, now we have your identity.
Mhm.
Like, all right, you're good at this. We're gonna focus on that. You're
Yeah.
not good at this.
Mhm.
Let's work on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when you pay attention, again, to who you have. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to know who you have,
Definitely.
what you're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then as a coach, you just try to bring the best out of what you have.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is what he has. I'm going to bring the best out of that and go from there. That is true, man. Now, what do you think? I want to ask you this because some people feel like boxing, like you said, is a lonely sport. It's not a team sport.
Mhm.
Do you feel like your people in the gym around you are your teammates, or do you feel like these people are competitors? How would that be for you? How did you see that growing up? People in the gym with you, are these people that are teammates to you or not?
I grew up with my cousins, so it's like we were just having fun. I didn't really
Mhm.
see them as comp
Yeah.
because I was that good. I was all like, bro, like even if we did get to fight, me and my cousins, like,
Yeah.
bro, you know, I'm gonna be alright, boy.
Yeah.
I'm
How about now? Like with
at wild card?
yeah, like let's say wild card, you have all these other pros. Do you see them like teammates or do you see them like competition?
I see them as teammates.
Yeah, teammates.
I see them as teammates. Yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
man, you know, bad blood. Like, oh, like if one day we fight, that I'm like, it was just like we do in the fighting. So,
Yeah.
just make it a fight. Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because I was curious of how you saw it. You know,
Yeah.
some people see it differently, but I agree. I mean,
if we could do it in the fighting, fucking so be it. All right, good.
yeah.
Cool.
And plus, it's better to have good people around you.
Oh yeah, nah.
You know what I mean? It makes you better. If they get better, it makes you
Yeah.
better. Now you're sparring better people.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you some of these IG questions. I had some people ask. Oh, someone said that you were sparring Devin Haney.
Oh yeah.
And how did that go? What was sparring Devin Haney like, and what was a key moment in that sparring?
It was good work. Good work.
How many rounds did you do with him?
I did 6, I believe. 6
rounds.
Yeah.
And were you happy with your performance and
definitely,
how you did?
Yeah. That was more than happy because like you were right there. You know, he's a boxer, probably the best forward in the game right now.
Mhm.
He's such a good counter puncher.
Yeah.
Jab is there. It's just like it was just so good work, and it's like it put me in perspective. Like, all right, like I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How did that come about? How'd you end up sparring him?
Oh well, he's sparring. He's gonna fight soon. You know, has a fight. I think it already came out. He's gonna fight Jose Ramirez. I don't know the exact fight date, but yeah. And they're like, oh, like you fight like Jose, like you come forward. I'm like, okay, like it's good.
Oh, okay. And that's why they hooked it up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask you some random questions that have nothing to do with boxing. What's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant?
Yeah. If you're gonna go out to eat, what's your spot?
Oh damn. See, I eat everything. If
So
you know me, you know I eat everything and anything. But damn, that's a messed up question. The spot, I like In-N-Out. I like In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. You can't go wrong with In-N-Out. What's your favorite boxing fight that you watched? That you like, man, this is my favorite fight.
Man, I mean, you know, I watch a lot of boxing.
Give me one. Give me one that you like. Give me a fight that you like.
I like Hector Camacho versus I think who did he fight for the championship? Either no, I think it was Bazooka Limona or Bobby Chacon. I think it was Bazooka Limona he fought for the world title.
His first
His first
when
world title.
he got
Yeah,
it.
when he got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the fight that you
That
like.
fight, I liked watching it because like that was his first. He fought in Puerto Rico, and he was I think 21, 22 when he got it, and like he was like, "Oh, I'm just a kid from the ghetto." Like I relate so much to him, even though like he felt he was on drugs the whole time.
Yeah.
He still had that fight. Imagine he wasn't.
Yeah. A lot of people actually are on drugs and have things like that when you talk to them a lot. That's actually pretty damn common.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chavez had he had a lot of shit going on with him. Yeah. Cause like you said, boxing is lonely. You're alone, you're training, you can't be eating, you can't be fucking, you got all these things and you're dealing with all these emotions. A lot of people don't know how to, how to handle that.
Yeah.
What do? I can't go out and talk to friends. Fucking they start drinking, they start drinking drugs. So I mean, I get why it would happen. Who's your favorite boxer? Who's someone that inspired you or you love?
Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez? What about
him? The way he fights, he breaks down opponents.
Mm.
He takes away the
strengths.
The strengths.
Yeah, the strengths.
Defense, footwork. And it's tragic that he had to die. He died at 23.
He died young. Car
at 23,
accident.
yeah. And people still consider him the best Mexican boxer ever.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he didn't pass.
Yeah.
So it's like,
people say that if he wouldn't have died, people would have never found out of Chavez.
Yeah.
Because they say that he would have took on his shine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big what if. But that's what they say. What do you want to be remembered as? When people are all said and done and you're 60 years old and you're no longer boxing or nothing, when people talk about Cain, what do you want people to remember you as?
He made it out. He made it out.
That's what you want to be remembered as, that you change your...
Not even the boxing aspect.
Yeah, you change your life.
He made it out.
Is there anything you want to do, inspirations outside of boxing when you're older? Is there anything like, oh, I want to own a business or I want to do that or one of that? Is there anything that you aspire to do?
I want to go back to school. I want to be a teacher.
Oh, really?
A history teacher, yeah.
What? I would have never guessed.
Really?
I would have never guessed. Hell no. If someone said, hey, what do you think Cain wants to do? I would have never guessed a teacher and not a history teacher either.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just like history. I like history.
That's tight, man. What kind of history? I love history too. I love history.
World history, U.S. history, sports history. I love like boxing history. Like if they had a class like a sports history.
Yeah. History is tight because if you pay attention to history,
it repeats itself.
It repeats itself. You're literally getting ready for the future because you can kind of predict what's going to happen if you pay attention to.
That's why I was like, sometimes when things happen, I'm like, oh, I seen it coming.
Yeah.
It's like history repeats itself, if you like it or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you like going to school or anything right now, or have you thought about that?
I was thinking about that. Yeah. Yeah, I talked to my mom about it because I was like, I was like alone so much, like not doing shit. And after training, you rest, right?
Yeah.
And then after the next training, you rest. I'm like, man, and sometimes like I'll be still full of energy. I'm like,
you can probably do it right now.
I'm like, let's do like online classes or something.
Yeah, online classes. Yeah, you can do it.
Yes.
Fuck it, while you compete, get your learning credentials and shit like that.
Yeah, like.
So then when you're done, boom, you're a teacher.
Yeah, because people be like, I tell them like, I used to have my Cain promotion stuff, but like, man, to be a promoter, you have to invest a lot of money into fighters.
Hell yeah.
I'd rather be a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, I thought about it. I was like, I'm gonna still post my stuff and the fighters but realistically, like, I want to be a history teacher.
That's tight, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mr. Sandoval.
Mr. Sugar.
Yeah. Hey, how did that come about? I actually was gonna tell you. How did your nickname come about? Sugar Cain. How did that come about?
It's the legends are named Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And in New York, they're like, hey, Cain, you need a nickname. I'm like, why? They're like, oh, sound better. Like, we got anything? They're like the Sandman, because Sandoval. And I'm like, no, that's weird.
Sandman.
Hurricane. And I'm like, how about Sugar? They're like, Sugar Cain? I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, when it fits though.
And then, so this started when your New York fight.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, you kept it.
I kept it.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I remember I saw it out of nowhere because I remember you didn't have a nickname. And then when I saw that, I was like, okay, it does go well with it. Sugar Cain. Is there anything you want to add before we end the podcast? Anything you want to say or anything you could share? It's your time.
Yeah, for sure. As you know, this sport gets really lonely. And if you have nobody to talk to God. I'm telling you. But if you have people around you, friends, your moms, your dad, or even just brothers, sisters, whoever, if you go through some mental stuff, just talk to them. Reach out, because you being here means so much than you taking your own life.
Mhm.
You're here for a reason.
It sounds like you said that speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, I'm happy you're here because we're all excited. You make Sac proud. You know, watching you fight, knowing that you are representing us, it gives a different sense of feeling to watching a fight. So the fact that you're here, and then the fact that you came to the show. So thank you, man. Keep doing what you're doing,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Keep doing what you're doing. We're rooting for you every step of the way. Don't forget about us when you get your straps.
Yeah,
And
I
then
never.
come through.
Okay.
Let me see. I think that was all I was gonna say. How can people stay in touch with you? People want to connect
yeah.
with you. How can people stay in touch?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Cain Sandoval. My YouTube is also Cain Sandoval. I just put up a website, sugarcainsandoval.com, with my merch. New merch on the way,
Oh,
the colorways and stuff. Yeah, so you guys want to contact. I have TikTok too. I recently got into TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Cain Sandoval.
that's cool. Yeah, TikTok's fucking hot. That's
Yeah.
where
You know why? Because they took it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never seen so many pissed off people until that time when they're like, "Oh, TikTok's about to get banned."
You know what's crazy? When people were posting about TikTok, like it was like a person that passed away.
Yeah, it was like, no, it's true.
I was like,
people were talking about that, like it was crazy. I was like, damn, people really fuck with this TikTok.
Yeah, but
hey, that's what they like. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on, Cain. Appreciate
you, man.
brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. We'll be rooting for you, and we out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hell yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Great conversation with Cain Sandoval. Make sure you keep up with him. He is super exciting to watch. Great fan friendly style. Puts on a show. If you have not watched any of his fights or highlights, I definitely recommend you go on YouTube and watch some of his highlights. If you guys enjoyed this episode, like, share, leave a review. And I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out.